You ready?
I was born ready.
You want to do the intro?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Let me do the intro.
What the fuck? All right, you're in a good mood today. 3,
2. Hate me.
Oh my. All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Welcome to another podcast.
Start over.
Welcome to another episode of the Top Corner. No, let's do it. All right. I'm good to go.
3, 2, 1.
All right.
All right. Just start whenever you want.
Welcome to another episode of the Top Corner Podcast. Mes amis, today it's a beautiful day in the city of Tennessee.
Yes.
In case you guys didn't know, we are from Tennessee.
Yeah.
I guess I can say that.
The way the sun sets behind the power plants.
Yeah.
Sets my heart on fire.
Another day, another dollar.
I didn't get paid today yet. So
Dang, that's kind of hard.
yeah.
How you doing today, man?
I'm all right. This is take 5 of the intro.
Yeah.
We got it. We nailed it. We, you know
Definitely
what?
got it.
We crushed this one.
Yeah.
Awesome!
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. Let's get some hands up, applause.
Yeah. For starting the show.
Yeah,
For starting the show. Excellent.
Man, we got a little news for you guys, but we got podcasts for you guys, man. What's happening? The Euro 2024 is still taking place. The Copa America is still taking place. So if you are at home or you don't have kids, you can watch games all day. You don't even have
All
to go
day.
anywhere. Just
Look,
sit at home.
no
with
job,
with your
no
beer
kids,
gut.
no wife,
Nothing.
just the beer.
Just
Well, just the beer and the game.
Yeah, and if you do live in America, the 4th of July,
Hell
it's what is it again? I've been living here for so long. Oh, it's the Independence Day. Guess
Yeah.
what? Sit at home, watch games, don't do no fireworks. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So how do you feel about fireworks?
You know what? I want to set a house on fire.
On fire. Now that happens unintentionally from time to time.
I want to start with fireworks first. Like I want to take a bunch of them,
Yeah.
just enclosed in the garage, and just lit it up. Just
So there's actually a funny story with my family. We had something not quite that bad happen.
yeah.
But so my grandpa really likes fireworks. The rest of us are kind of indifferent about fireworks. Like
Yeah.
I don't. If we never shot fireworks again, the only reason I would feel bad about it
Yeah.
is because my grandpa has like sort of a tradition with it. It's like I like that he has a good time doing it.
Yeah.
I'm not personally there for that, but you know the ones that have like the big mortar rounds in them, the big tubes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh, I want to do those.
well,
bad.
so this was probably like at least 15 years ago. He lights one of the mortar rounds in
Yeah.
the tube, and the wicks going down to the tube, and the family's over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the tube's over here, and he starts running back to the family, and the tube just goes and falls right toward us. And it
Dang.
hits the side of the house. Shit starts flying everywhere. Everyone's running and ducking and dodging over tables and stuff. Dude, it was like Vietnam. It was like a war zone for like 30 seconds. Rounds going off everywhere, fireworks in the night. It was amazing. It was a good memory.
Talking about fireworks, if you ever know the player called Balotelli, well, low story. He is from Italy, and he played in the national team, and he plays for City. He play for a bunch of teams around, but you gotta know him. This is the most, for me, I think Balotelli is one of those players that he was the most, in my eyes, one of the most gifted players that never got to his potential.
Why always me?
Why always me? He literally set off his bathroom with fireworks.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Is this recent or is this older?
when he was in Manchester.
Oh, wow.
And he had to pay £15,000 in damages. And the next day, he revealed when they were talking about it. I think when playing the game, he said, "Why always me?"
Okay.
That's actually
Is that where that one came from?
Yeah.
Gee,
Well, it came from a bunch of things that he thought was injustice
Gotcha.
done to him. But
it was an injustice to his bathroom, is what it was.
Why I always started after that incident. A lot of people are talking about it.
Why
you know how
always
crazy.
me?
Yeah. You know what? Let's get into our mojo a little bit. Let's talk about this.
All right.
Did you watch the game? England. Was that England Slovakia?
Yeah. I did. Yeah.
Did you see what do you think about the game?
I think that a lot of what we've been talking about lately is really coming around.
Yeah.
There is, and it's unfortunate because Ivan Toney coming on doesn't help the case for Foden.
Yeah.
But we've seen both Foden and Bellingham play long enough now. We've said it before. There's room in the in the formation. It's not just the squad, but the formation.
Yeah, the formation.
You've got such a wealth of talent that it's hard to squeeze them all into a starting 11.
Yeah. But with such attacking firepower, you still don't generate enough attacking threat. Because for me, I feel like Kane. Oh, he great players, right? Great player, had a wonderful season. But the thing, if you have someone like Bellingham and Foden, that cool. When the action of them or they're doing cannot take place and they're trying to find someone up that could potentially use what they will create, as far as I'm talking target passes or just passes where the striker might run from behind the line or break the line, they cannot do that if no one is running. So I'm just saying that at some point, I understand, and this will be on Southgate, because either the English media will burn you down if it doesn't work, or if it works, they're gonna be like, well, it worked, right? Take out Kane, put either Ivan Toney or Watkins. You see, when they came in,
Ivan Toney looked really good.
Yeah, because at least we understand that because Kane can drop deep and help, but who's gonna do the run?
Foden does that though. So you're
That's
saying,
what I'm saying.
So you're saying that there's not enough guys making runs, and I agree, because one of the guys that should be making runs in the middle is Phil Foden, and he's out on the wing, and he's not the one that's supposed to feed the ball in. You're supposed to feed the ball into him. So you need somebody in the middle.
So the thing would be, let's say all of them are dropping deep. Even your striker is not making no run.
Yeah,
because I can drop a through ball either on earth or on air. I can't.
Yeah.
Because nobody's there.
Yeah. Because Kane's in the midfield trying to create chances, but it's like,
that's it.
You need to be the one getting the chances for
If I'm Phil Foden, I'm going up. We have seen him doing that at Manchester City as a 10. Yeah. I'm going up. I'm trying to create chances. I'm dribbling, cutting in, cutting out, getting all these defenders discombobulated. No one is doing the run to create space or nothing, because we're all down.
And as a manager, you've seen Foden do this for years now, possibly 4 or 5 years, and your answer is, I'm going to stick him on the wing where he's got nobody giving him any service at all.
I actually feel like Bellingham and Foden can play in the middle.
Yes.
And we stick someone out in the wing. It don't matter. You can put Ivan Toney, anyone on the wing, and put Watkins. Yep. I just think that you can. Sometimes you have to confuse the opponent. You don't always have to bring out the same thing. You're trying to bake a cake every day, the same ingredient. You never get to the desired texture. Change it a little bit.
I like that.
You never know. You can do the same thing expecting a different result. That's foolishness.
Yeah, well, and I'm trying to get back and double check the formation here, but I mean, so you know who actually looked okay though? When Cole Palmer came on and was on the right wing, and they moved Saka over to the left wing, that did not look as bad as you think that it would on face value of the left-footed winger not being on the side where you can cut the ball back.
That's what I'm saying.
It worked.
I feel like they'll have so much. Do you think about the team, right? You're like, oh man, if there's an event where we can turn things around, we can play exceptional football, we can attack relentlessly. We have the firepower. We have we have guys that can play 200 minutes. Because these guys are all young. They run like hell. Yeah. Get them on the field.
And here's the thing as well. Look, So he's got Kane. I'm looking at the formation now. It's a 4-2-3-1, where Kane's all alone, not getting any service because his wingers are sort of lost in the midfield, and you've got one guy. You got Foden on the left wing that's not getting anything done. Look, and this is where having a wealth of talent is not a bad thing. Bellingham and Foden in the middle, with Rice or Manu as the holding midfielder in the center further back. Maybe Rice and Manu are not going to start at the same time. Maybe you have one relieve the other. That is fine. But you've got to have guys up higher on the wings. You need Gordon and Saka higher up with Kane. But you have Foden and Bellingham higher up in the midfield giving service with Declan Rice between Guehi, who's not going to be there because he's suspended on yellow cards. But helping Stones. And now I'm trying to think of who would actually, probably Joe Gomez. Probably Joe Gomez comes in and replaces Guehi. So it's like you've got options there. So yeah, maybe Rice or Manu, whoever starts, it's almost guaranteed you're only going to play about 60 minutes. 60-30 for the entire competition. And you can rotate who starts, who comes in late. Like that's not that big of a deal to me. But you don't need to start both of them. But both of them have been in good form.
Yes.
Manu is very, very impressive.
Yeah. Well, the thing also about if you have that much talent, sometimes when things don't work, you can shake things around. You don't always have to stick with the same thing. Salga is one of those guys that I've seen time and again. The game doesn't go his way. There's no tactical improvement. There's no substitute. You have everyone sitting down that could potentially come in and change the game, but nah, son.
He's the kind of guy.
Let them in.
He's the kind of guy that stays with the same girlfriend for 5 extra years and is just fucking miserable the whole time. It's like just end it. Like, look, you can try to repair things in the beginning, but there are certain things down the road that you can kind of see that there's no really helping. So get out of that relationship. Go find a new girl.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer's on the bench waiting for you. Get his number.
That's what I'm saying. Like, same system. I mean, if you, dude, and you know what's crazy when Bellingham scored that goal. I don't know if it's Bellingham, but I don't know if you. I mean, it's definitely Bellingham, but I don't know if you've seen what
corner.
happened.
Yeah.
Bellingham was.
No.
Well, Bellingham was doing this weird thing. Let me try to see if I can pull it up. You can probably cut it. It's just the image. I think you can put the image and the video when editing. But
I probably can.
Yeah. Oh, dang. I thought I had the image here. I was going to show it to you.
One of the big things about that Bellingham goal, though, while you're looking for that, was if you notice, what gave Bellingham the space was Ivan Toney now being a bit more aggressive. In that set piece. And like you saw Kieran Trippier, once they were celebrating, Kieran Trippier pulled Toney aside and basically tapped him on the chest and was like, look, he scored that goal. That was you. You created a lot more difficulty. You pulled guys in. You literally see once the ball is about to leave the foot for the corner, the defender completely isolates and leaves Bellingham for Toney. Toney pulled everyone away. And then Toney gets the assist for the Kane goal. You're like, this fucking guy, this guy. I mean, whether or not he plays that level at Brentford week in, week out. He was doing something there. They were not expecting him, I guess.
To do?
Yeah, like they were not expecting him to come on when he did. They weren't obviously completely training with him in mind in that position. And, I mean, he gave them a lot of things that they didn't have answers for.
Yeah,
you know?
I do agree with that one.
It's very impressive.
I mean, it's as simple as it's as simple as ABC. If something don't work, change it. Trying to shake things up, make a difference. You know?
You got to do something.
And I know one thing that will be crazy is like if you take out Kane and then England loses the game, then you get buried. Because the English may just go, they're gonna crucify this guy. But on the reverse side, there's no shame in trying things. You've seen that.
There shouldn't be, at least. But for some reason, for England especially, there kind of is. And it's annoying because you're right. I mean, the fans and the pundits will complain if the same old thing doesn't work. But also, if you try anything radical, they're like, what in the world? Like, they think that immediately is what leads to the downfall. Shut up and like I don't care if he's the most qualified. I don't care if he's the best manager for the job. He's not, and he's not. But he's there, and you're not. So at the end of the day,
let him try stuff.
If you need to say what you think that you would have done better, then that's fine, I guess. And you're allowed to say, Southgate in or Southgate out. You're allowed to have the opinion of that. But the idea of not letting this guy have any room to do what every other manager is allowed to do, that's ridiculous to me.
Yeah. And he won match of the MOTM, man of the match. A lot of people also were complaining about it. But you can't really complain if he is the one that kind of helps in the whole team, getting back their mojo and winning the game. And the goal he scored was good. But do you think he should have been man of the match?
I don't think so. Kane, you're talking about?
No, Bellingham.
Bellingham. Okay. Well, they both did. They both made quite a few mistakes. Yeah, Kane wouldn't have made any sense. Bellingham. Maybe that's one of those things that you give it to that player that has this appeal, the star value, this young kind of potential icon in the making. Like maybe you give that to just sort of help facilitate. Oh,
my bad.
There you go.
Oof. So
that's almost tragic.
Yeah, what I was gonna show actually.
Nice face.
Putting this this image.
What is going on with that?
It's pretty interesting.
That is interesting.
They watched the game, so so he was going. I don't know if they actually went through with it. Listen to the news, but he was. UEFA ethics and disciplinary inspector would conduct a disciplinary investigation regarding a potential violation of the basic rules of decent conduct by the English Football Association player Jude Bellingham because he did that.
Interesting.
But guess what though? If you do anything other than that, well, I don't even think that was flagrant, but I want to see other things that players have done that have been punished.
Yeah.
Not something extravagant like Suarez beating people. That's different.
Now I do remember. I can't give you exact names or dates, but I do remember there being an issue in the NFL, in the NBA, maybe like a decade ago or so, of something similar to that. So this would not be the first time that someone's gotten in trouble for that kind of gesturing.
Yeah.
Not even just like in sports in general, not even just like of a particular nation's sport. Yeah.
He said it was an inside joke between him and the football players.
That's fine. Do it in the locker room. like that. That's how that works. Because what was it? The Bernardo Silva thing. You remember when Bernardo Silva tweeted out the picture of the funny caricature to Ben Mendy?
Yeah.
And they're all friends. They have this running joke, but fans got up in arms. Yeah. And I agree. Fans, shut your fucking mouth. You guys don't count here. Like that was a thing between friends. However, you're high-profile people. Just send him a text. I know you have his phone number. It's like there are certain things that you just don't do in public. Not because I think that you should clutch your pearls and get all offended, but someone's going to.
Martinez did something weird at the World Cup. He wasn't punished.
What did he do? I don't remember.
The goalkeeper. I think he did. He did kind of the same thing, but his was more.
I remember that. Yeah.
His was more showing. And it wasn't even the only thing he did that World Cup. But action was.
Now that you say that, I do remember that.
But the World Cup is even different because it's worldwide. It's like I mean, that is international, but I'm talking everyone.
Yeah, that's like by far like.
And I was reading comments. People were like, "Well, Manchester City has 122 count. No one takes disciplinary action." I'm like. But that's not the Euro.
Yeah, I was gonna say like that's a completely different thing.
That don't make sense.
One is an entire organization. One is an individual. It's always easier to be able to discipline an individual than a group of people.
Then I've discovered a lot of people hate Bellingham in a sense too.
Yeah, I've seen over the last 6 months or so a big attitude change.
Is it from the fans or from him? But I'm
from
saying
him. Like I've seen him do several things that I did not like that he did. Like he'll do childish things. He'll get in people's faces once the ball's out on the side. Things that he did not do at Dortment, and I don't like that.
Someone was telling that, but
he's like a little shithead now.
But he's getting the Madrid DNA. Ramos. He's getting the Ramos.
Yeah, no. Well, see, like actions on the pitch are different, I think, than that kind of stuff. Because like the ball's out, you're getting in someone's face, like that. I'm not a big fan of. I don't like that in any sport whatsoever, personally.
But does that
I never will.
But do you have to judge someone? Because a lot of people are, this Bellingham, he's crappy person. That's how he does, and just hate. And I was thinking. But that don't equate to the person itself.
Exactly.
Like you can do antics.
Right.
Like, when we talk about antics, like you look at Ramos, right? Doesn't equate to Ramos being, as a person, a non-likable person. So I'm just saying, is that a thing people shouldn't be focused on such things.
Right. I think that it's just that it's such a stark difference between the sort of mild-mannered teenager at Dortmund. Very respectful in interviews, very thoughtful in interviews, very eloquent. Good team leader. One of those like stronger, like kind of medium, middle of the road guys. He's passionate, he's aggressive, but he's not sort of sneering and speaking down to people.
Yeah.
He's just it's a slight change, and I think that it's partially due to the high profile nature of where he's at now, and it's difficult to kind of keep that small, humble mentality in those moments. But I do think that at a certain point, that is what makes a great athlete, is to be able to keep that in mind at times. Again, not saying he's a bad person, not saying that that's happening, but I have noticed in the last half year or so, like, oh, okay, you're doing that now.
France against Slovakia. Was it Slovakia? Why I keep putting
France and Belgium was today.
France and Belgium, yeah. That was an interesting game too. The same thing really applies. But I've noticed, this is personal opinion, the defending has been upgraded this year. Not necessarily in the style, not necessarily the playing efficiency or the all-around team play, but the defending itself. I don't know if it comes from a lot of reservation or a lot of I don't know. Probably people, teams are scared to not get beaten badly or something. I don't know what's because the defense is so compact. People are just crazy. They just defend.
I think you're 90% right on that. People are scared to take action, not because they're scared to be beaten and to be completely destroyed. I think that you're looking at a situation where all of the superpowers are not as strong as they used to be. So a lot of these clubs, a lot of these national sides are going, well, if we're not overly risky, we might walk away with something here. Like you have incentive to not put yourself out there. Whereas if this was 2018 France and this current Belgium side, I mean, just go for it. The game will up, like because France is going to pick you apart, but they're not playing that well. So like you need to take your chances, but because they're not attacking as strongly, take it easy. Like don't go too overboard here.
Before we get back to France in a minute, is it because because even like Slovenia, even Slovakia, all these weird countries. Oh, my bad. No weird countries, but
unique country. No, smaller
they're not
Eastern
on the
European
same scale as Portugal, as Germany, as Spain, as France, right?
You're just a Western European elitist, is what you are.
But they're playing surprisingly. They are tougher than expected. And they are playing good defense.
And the Western European teams are not as good as expected. So they're meeting in the middle.
Yeah.
And those Eastern European sides they're saying, look, we're going to sit back. We're going to take this more responsibly. We don't need to go try to be maniacs and ram 2 goals down your throat because we're scared to get 4 put on us. If we play smart and we play a little more conservative, we might be able to wear you down. And I think that's what we've been seeing overall.
Yeah. French players at the Euro, 66 shots, 0 non-penalty goals. But they're in quarterfinal. That's an interesting stat. And these stats come from StatMuse. In case you wanted to go check. But
nice shout out.
French players, I'm talking 66 shots from anyone. That's a combined shots for the whole team and nothing goes in. So the question becomes, what do they need to do to fix? What's the underlying issue here? Because watch the game, really, there's not a big issue, but I think they just need one thing, is more, I don't know, or probably more attacking, or just the essence of, players need to try more and take more risk instead of be more conservative. I think that's what they need. Because they on defense and attack, I don't think they, like, especially on defense, I don't think they're really lacking. But their attacking need to improve because they have the caliber of people that can get in and score. Yeah. Either they're lacking a creator, but they have they have creators. They just lack the creative aspect.
Thuram's not a number 9 though, is he?
No, Thuram is not a number 9.
No, because he played more on the right side at Inter this past season, and it seemed to work better for him.
Yeah, but they will still run in the same issue. I think if they put Thuram there, he won't still do anything.
Well, I think that Griezmann gets a little wasted on the right wing. I think he needs to be more in the middle.
That's another thing.
Making more decisions.
When you put Griezmann in the middle in France, It doesn't. He doesn't bring that thing.
I don't mean number 9, by the way.
You mean just behind?
Like, yeah, I think that if you drop, because right here they're running a 4-3-3.
Yeah,
with Griezmann on the right wing. I think that if you bring a 2-man front, so it's just Mbappe and Thuram up front.
Yeah.
But put Griezmann as like more of an attacking mid.
Okay.
To sort of feed the ball. That might work because Thuram was in the box a little too much and he does not have that clinical finishing.
Yeah.
However, if someone else is in the box with him, like an Mbappe, it might work in his favor. But
another thing too, Mbappe not playing as good as we expect.
Right.
But he's creating a lot of chance. People just can't put it in too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. that was why I mentioned Thuram first.
Yeah, that's why I see it now. Instead of Thuram having the leap over or always in those situations because he's playing in the front, probably Mbappe should be there because he's more clinical.
Yeah,
than
if that's where he's okay.
That kind of makes sense.
And then in all seriousness, and we talked about it as well. Like, how much was the broken nose going to affect him, and how?
Not much.
You don't think so?
Oh, you mean as a form?
Yeah, I think that partially it's because like wearing those masks sucks. You don't realize how much shielding actually goes on with these masks, and I mean small things like that, like when you are that high level of an athlete, small things like that, too much water on the pitch, your shoelaces aren't tight enough, you got a fucking mask that's shielding some of your periphery. Those things do matter, and he mentioned
it.
Some of the French news were mentioning that, like, because he swapped out masks.
Oh,
he's had I think he's had a different mask every game since, trying to figure out kind of what works best. And kind of training alone, trying to kind of figure things. So, like, and it does it messes with your breathing as well, because when the cartilage is broken, it swells up and your nasal passages. So these are small things, but at that level, that high performance, it matters.
I see. If I was the one though, I think he should bring more. Deschamps should bring more, because if you have followed the team itself in France, he's been catching fire too, just like Southgate. But the thing about their side is more that the difference is they're saying that Deschamps has a lot of talented player, but he's becoming too conservative in the whole play, not just the Euro. That's what they've been saying for a long time now. Actually, I think they might not want it. He was good for a while, but I think they want to see. Yeah, I mean,
when you win a World Cup and then you go to Euros final in back-to-back competitions, that tends to kind of prop you up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And I mean that in a good way. I mean, like, he might have a dip right now. He might not be playing as, like, the way that they want him to play overall.
Yeah.
As in terms of tactics, but at the end of the day, unlike Southgate, he has actual trophies to back it up. You do give those guys a bit more grace and more time. But at the end of the day, yes, I mean, you still have to produce those results, and you have to change with the times.
Man, I'm telling you, I saw a duel Kante against what was that? Doku. Man, it's like Kante just locked the hell out of Doku.
He's unbelievable. He's absolutely unbelievable.
That's interesting. Yeah. Playing doing 1 year in Saudi Arabia, people are thinking, well, he's not gonna be a Kante that we know, and he comes back, he's Kante that we know. How?
It's a mix of two things, because people sit there and they think, well, the Saudi league is such a drop in quality that you're going to lose a lot of what you have. However, Saudi Arabia, like, they're purposefully picking up the best players in the world.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about, with all due, kind of respect, a Conor Gallagher or even like a Jules Koundé or something like that. Yeah. Like, we're talking about like, and Ronaldo. And so, like, of course, even a year in not the best performances in Europe, of course, you're still going to be that much better than most of these guys. That's why you went there in the first place.
Yeah.
Now, in 2 years, when they've spent 3 seasons in Saudi Arabia, then that might be an issue.
Yeah.
But I'm not that surprised that Kante is still that good.
Yeah.
He's just had an easy year. But hell, how many years in a row was he one of the 3 best defenders on the planet?
Dang.
Truly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I can get behind it.
But he's phenomenal.
Yeah, no, he's killing it. I think I want to see more of France. I want to see them a little bit more taking chances.
Yeah.
I want to see them coming from the flanks. I'm talking high intensive or frequency attack. I want to see them doing things that they did in 2018. Now, I understand that it's kind of difficult because you don't have those long range balls from Pogba. But
Tchouaméni was spraying the ball all over the place.
Yeah,
though,
that's what I seen today. That Tchouaméni was getting that
they can
thing
just keep
up
him
there.
doing that. He has the capacity to replace.
And he had
in that
4
regard.
shots. I don't know if all of them was on target, but he had 4 shots. So I'm thinking, I just want them to do more because they have the capacity. I don't know if it's probably, the formation tweaked a little bit or bringing out players that could potentially like Dembele. Wait a minute, did Dembele play?
No.
I know he's not efficient on
sub.
target, but he always creates spaces and at least take a lot of actions. Like he will be in there dribbling, trying to do stuff.
The only sub for this match was Kolomouani, who was the goal scorer. So at the end of the day, again, I mean, like you're saying that there's a lot of criticism around Deschamps and stuff, and I do get that, and they are a bit more conservative than they should be, I think overall. One sub, and that's to get you the goal.
That's what I'm saying.
I think Kolomouani could start. I think that at the end of the day, and it drives me fucking nuts, and I've said this before, bring Mbappe in for the number 9, put Kingsley Coman on the left wing.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's how you
put them both in the left. I don't like Coman
you can
needs to play.
it.
He's a great left winger. He has more experience at left wing than I think Mbappe has in the last 5 years, because Mbappe's been playing at number 9 for PSG more often than not, and has produced great numbers in that position. I don't give a shit if it's his preference. I don't care. It's not Monaco.
Yeah, but the thing about it though, see, the left wing at France, they're not going off because Coman is great.
I understand.
But I'm scared too of Coman because as good as he is, there's a reason why he's not playing. Right?
It might be. It might be bum ass tactics though, because it's not like we're talking about a squad that's not working at the moment.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the things is also they don't have a good cohesion between them. They can't work as a team.
But that's also what I'm saying. These guys don't either.
Yeah, those guys.
I'm willing to put Coman in.
Yeah.
And move Mbappe in, even if that's not what they're used to doing, because what they're used to doing as a team right now is not working. You said it yourself. I mean, experimenting is totally like,
no,
bring Coman in and move Mbappe inside. I don't care if he's happy or not with it. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
If I'm Deschamps, I would drop Kolomouani permanently on the 9.
Yes.
Did he start?
No, Thuram started at number 9.
That's what I'm saying. If I would drop Kolomouani, permanently number 9. In fact, I can put Thuram on the left wing, switch Mbappe on the right wing, and put Griezmann on 10.
Do you want Mbappe on his weak foot though, cutting inside with his weak
Mbappe
foot?
can do all of them because I've seen him doing that.
I know, but I mean, he still does have a weaker foot. His left foot is still weaker than his right.
Yeah, but I don't think it will matter for scoring because since he can rotate on that whole way, now it's more like. So I'm thinking of playing him, and I feel like that's what Madrid will do with him. Really more of a positionless guy, like someone that doesn't really have a fixed position.
Yeah.
So sometimes you see on the left, you might see on the right, you might see on the attack. But I'm thinking they need guys that will actually provoke. That's what they don't have.
Yeah.
And Kolomouani too, because there's one thing I hate him for. They will have won that World Cup.
Oh yeah.
He never scored. If he had scored that goal.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking.
How old was he at the time though?
I don't know. 19, 20.
Yeah. It's one of those.
Because see, think about these guys. They have a young squad that could carry on for. That's what they're saying. The Shang is wasting the talent. I don't know. Yeah. Thuram is too heavy to be.
So could you, in this 4-3-3, could you mix it up a tiny bit? Could you take...
I could even, instead of doing 4-3-3, I would play something else.
Put Dembele on the right wing, move Griezmann in to an attacking midfield role, take Rabiot out, and kind of let Tchouaméni and Kanté sit deeper in that midfield to shut down those passing lanes. But once that happens, you have Mbappe on the left, Kolomouani in the middle, and then Dembele on the right, with Griezmann kind of trying to create some chances for them.
Yeah.
I like that, especially if you have Kanté that's an absolute maniac in the back cleaning things up, with Tchouaméni sitting back deeper that has good defense capability, that is still able to drop in those deep passes to either get you out of jams and counterattacks or to pick out Dembele when he inevitably gets through the back line with pace.
I will actually flip this a little tiny bit. I'll play a 4-1-2-3. So I'll play the same back line, Kanté. Then I'll, instead of Rabiot, I'll come in with Tchouaméni and Camavinga.
Yeah.
Because I've seen them work together at Madrid.
Of course.
Right? And they already have that thing, that same virus. They already have that.
And Rabiot's not bad either.
No, he's not bad.
This is the thing that you suffer from when you have so much talent that it's like, yes, you
People-
are at the bottom end of that group of midfielders. That does not mean that you're not a fantastic midfielder. You're just looking at a squad that has so much talent.
You have to think about complementing too, like what player complement the other, and you also have to think about how they work as a unit. So I will bring that. Then I will probably drop Kolomwani. If I'm trying to play with Thuram, put him on that left wing. Either switch Mbappe as a 9 or put him on the right wing.
Yeah.
Because you want to get the most out of Thuram. Thuram is not good as a 9. Or if you don't want to play Thuram, bring in Kolomwani, bring Dembele. Where the hell is Dembele actually?
He's played in the group stage. He's not there. And like
okay.
And Thuram is good on the wing. He's good at using his pace and he's good physically to get inside.
You know what?
He's just not your finisher.
Okay, well, guess what? I put Thuram on left wing, put Mbappe on the 9, put Dembele on the right wing. Because Dembele is not a good finisher, but what Dembele would do, create the hell out of spaces.
That's what I'm saying. Like he and Thuram are sort of just opposite-footed guy. Like they're similar, left foot, right foot, both great pace, can blitz down the wing, can cut inside and create chances, but like they're just not good finishers. That's it.
Spain, so far, Germany too, are showing how a talented team work together
as a unit.
Yeah. And so far, by far the best two team players.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you see the talent, you see the combination, and whatever expectation you have from their talent is delivering.
Yeah. Well, and you know what kind of works in Spain's favor here?
What?
Look at the squad. Outside of Rodri, who is an absolute superstar? I mean, like with their faces on cups.
Yeah.
And like they don't have to worry about those kinds of things. And I mean this respectfully. I don't mean it in a bad way. It's the exact example of great players working together without sort of egos in the way. Fabian Ruiz, Pedri, Lamine Yamal, Alvaro Morata, Emerick Laporte, Marc Cucurella. You know what I mean? Like these guys are not names that are like the French squad, like the England squad, where like if you drop one of those guys, the fans are gonna lose their fucking minds.
Yeah.
They don't have to worry about that kind of a thing. They're all very, very good players. I'm not saying that they're not.
They're not,
They just don't have that name value behind them that makes you think, well, if you just started them, this wouldn't have happened.
Nico Williams was absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
Cucurella, since I'm been watching this Euro right now, I think Cucurella is really a good left back. I think Chelsea shouldn't sell him. I don't know if they will have a better option than him at the moment.
He's he's very animated and just and what that does though at Chelsea is that it gets him into some bad positions. But they seem to figure it out with these guys though. Yeah.
In that sense, the person playing next to Cucurella has to be someone that always cover up spaces. Same thing as back in the days when Dani Alves will go up, there will be someone covering that.
Yep.
You know, that's what they have to do. And like I said, Spain destroyed Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia won the hearts of the fan because they're underdogs.
Georgia barely got into the competition, didn't they?
Yeah.
Didn't they squeak in the playoffs to get into the group? So, I mean, good for them to get out of the group stage, though, honestly.
Yeah. Yamal is doing Yamal things. The kid is doing things at his age that it takes a while for players to understand. I'm talking about spacing. I'm talking about runs. I'm talking about how to effectively drop through balls.
Yep.
He is doing it at such a high level. That's pretty interesting. So my thing is, I really want to see how much of a development he will have in the next just 2 years.
Yeah.
Because that's 2 years worth of experience.
Yeah.
And he's 16. So at 18 or 19, you pretty much get a complete player. I feel like that's kind of like, although Mbappe just started early, actually he did at 17 at Monaco. Actually, I feel like that's Mbappe all over. Not the game, but more of like we're seeing back
getting to that level at that youth. Yeah.
Because I don't think there's been a player that there's been potential, but I don't think there's been a player that has gotten to that caliber. I'm talking superstar level.
Yeah.
Quick. They get to important players. Even when Wayne Rooney started at 17. Yeah, but I'm talking because Mbappe at 20 was already a superstar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think Yamal might get there.
And he does these things, like kind of like you said, like he'll, for everything that he does, where you're like, wow, dude, this kid sees the game like nobody. He still makes some mistakes. You're like, yeah, he is 16. Yeah. and I mean that in a good way.
Yeah,
Just like he is, for 16 years old, unfucking believable. Yeah. And in the next 5 years, it's going to be unbelievable. And like, he's still going to be so young. But, you know, he still has some time where it's like, you didn't quite see this. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I mean, it's very clear how far along he is. Though,
at 2-3 years, you get to 21 or 22, that young, with that much experience and how gifted you are. Yeah, you having a destroyer on your team.
We're going to be hearing this kid's name for almost 20 more years.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? Like, that's something that you think about in, like, film as well.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you were a lifelong fan of the sport or of the art form or whatever, when somebody comes in that young and makes that big of an impression, if you have enough experience of being a viewer of the culture, you do sit there and you go, wow, like, we are, like, this is going to be a name in the history books for such a long time, because you know the history from before you were involved. All these names, like, this kid could be on that level, and we witnessed him in the very, very beginning, sort of like Leonardo DiCaprio, as like a like a 9-10-year-old actor, and you as like a film scholar going, whoa, like, we're literally going to be seeing this guy for like 50 years. He just started, and it's like that's what this is. Like, it's just that Lamine Yamal is going to be a name discussed in the sport for decades. It's just bizarre to see it like from the very beginning.
Yeah, that's it. But Spain playing Germany, I kid you not, I think they will have to, because for Germany, they have this little errors that they do on the defensive line, but it's far better than the Spain defensive line, because you have seen how they play. If they get the opportunity that Georgia got,
that's true.
Spain will not be leaving that game alive.
Yeah. Spain's defense is not completely foolproof. No. And I think with guys like Jamal Musiala, and I think with Tony Cruz finding passing lanes for him as well.
And you know he gonna find it.
Yes.
He gonna find it.
Yeah, and I mean, and you know,
and they're gonna shoot from far too. So I'm just taking the whole package, because when you look at the second, man, Spain actually, Georgia actually missed a lot, because even the goal where, was it Kvaratskhelia? No, was it him? Like, not the goal, but when there's a player who shot from long distance.
Yes, that was Kvaratskhelia. Yeah.
And the goalkeeper was off.
Was so close.
You know, so Germany won't forgive you.
Yeah, you can't. You can't leave that back line that way.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they can be a threat to Germany. Of course they can, but Germany have more experienced players. Although Spain have some Carvajal or whatever, but you know, you got the back line. You got that is injured there. I don't know who's playing.
You do have Schlotterbeck back there, though.
You have Schlotterbeck,
who is not the most impressive, but I don't. He works better here than he does with his club side. That's for sure.
So, but you got players that Havertz is really playing at the top of his game right now. Then you got Gundogan, you got Kroos, you got Sane, you got Musiala. This is a different ballgame.
And you know, Nico Fulkrug shows up in weird moments as well.
Just put it in. That's just.
I mean, he only needs like 20 minutes and he'll find a goal.
Yeah, there was a player. His name was Gomez. He used to play at Bayern Munich. He was a crazy player. Could you imagine? He had, on average, I don't know how many seasons, but score probably 19 to 20 goals. But he was like the Fulkrug type. Either if he plays the whole game, he's silent, quiet. But
if you bring him on in like the 65th minute or 70th minute, he finds something.
He was. So
he's perfect.
So I'm really, but for me, I think that's the final before the final.
He doesn't show up for the pregame warm-ups. He's like, nope, I'll just stretch at halftime because I know that's where I'm coming in. Yes, no, you said it earlier as well, and you were completely right. Spain, Germany.
That's the final.
That is the final. It's just early. I agree with that. England got so lucky with their side of the bracket.
England is closing to the final.
They got very lucky.
Who's England playing the next? Oh, they're still waiting.
Yeah, likely Netherlands though, because it's Netherlands and Austria.
Yeah,
I think that they play tomorrow.
They are cruising.
No, sorry, Romania and Netherlands, and then Austria and Turkey. So yeah,
I mean, you never know.
Netherlands can knock them out, man. Netherlands can knock England out.
Oh, wait a minute. They absolutely can. They have a good squad.
Yeah.
You're talking about look at Switzerland. Switzerland is playing. Actually,
took out the champs.
I forgot to say Germany, Switzerland, and Spain. Because Switzerland play as a unit. They play very well.
Same thing. No superstars.
No superstars. The football is clean.
Yes.
They pass the clear lanes. They have combinations. So they just play at a high level, team wise, instead of individuals trying
to make things happen. Yeah.
So that's
it. Really can be a curse when you have a team full of superstars, and you have no tactic that forces them to play as a unit while not smashing down their status.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult thing to balance.
Ooh. I didn't watch the penalties, the penalties Portugal.
I didn't get to either.
Yeah, but it looks like they say Diego Costa has just become the first goalkeeper ever to save 3 penalties in a single penalty shootout at the European Championship.
Well,
what the fuck? How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, Iron Gate.
I don't see Portugal going too far if they play like this. They got a good squad, but there's not a lot of conviction in their plays.
I agree.
So I don't know who are they playing next, or they're probably still waiting on. But
I think that they play they play the winner of Austria and Turkey.
They might go.
They could.
They could.
No, sorry. No, they're on the other side of the. Yeah, if they beat if they move on from this next stage, they're facing the winner of Spain and Germany, so they won't go that much farther.
Yeah, the winner of Spain and Germany is crazy. But you know what? Like I always have this weird feeling. I will confirm this feeling after the next stage. The feeling is 2016, and it's the same weird feeling I had for Argentina. And it's like, I think they might win. Because 2016, Portugal barely made it out of the group stage, and they won.
Yeah.
So. I will see how that goes, but nonetheless, the one thing I'm happy about, the underdogs are playing at such a high level. Of course, you already know who are the bosses. You already know who are the people that have, the expectation is for them to win, but it's not easy. It's not something you thought of. Oh, they might draw. They might, So it's that's competition for me.
So I was wrong. So here you go. Tomorrow's matchups are Romania and Netherlands and Austria and Turkey, and they move on to the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals set up right now that are guaranteed are Spain versus Germany, Portugal versus France, forgot about that, and then England, Switzerland. Those are 3 really good games.
Yeah.
And then
England, Switzerland. I want to watch that one.
England, Switzerland, yeah. But Portugal, France, I think is a pretty interesting one as well.
Yeah. Portugal first?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that top side of the bracket's much heavier than the bottom side. So England got very lucky with that.
Although there are more country names now, but dang, that's
the quarterfinals are shaping up more like what you expect.
Yeah.
The big guys are moving through, even though half of the big guys are not playing at the same level they're expected to play at.
And by the way, I think this will be, if you are a Cristiano Ronaldo fan, just be happy he's playing, because this is his last year of yours.
Yeah.
So,
he's not playing badly either.
Yeah, I thought he would have been a little bit worse, because it's different for what Kante kind of proved a little us wrong, but it's different for a defender and people that are playing in that attack, because they spend so much energy and the time and the body just can't keep up sometimes, because you gotta run up and down. You gotta do it. I think midfielders and defenders have the longest lifespan in soccer than the rest.
Pace is not as important, and pace is not the be all end all of a forward either. But because Arjen Robben wasn't the fastest guy in the world,
but Arjen Robben had it was technical.
Exactly,
it was different.
That's what I'm saying. It's like usually pace does help you, but at the end of the day, if you're that technical and you're that good on the ball, you don't need pace as much. But
that's kind of why again I might be going back to this player a lot, but I like the guy. Mbappe has changed his game a lot. He used to be so pacey.
Yes.
17,
at Monaco.
Mbappe 18.
Yeah.
it was just on the flank, just burn you out. But nowadays he doesn't really use it unless he has to.
Yeah.
So and that's what the expectation for a lot of.
I think France needs him to do that a little bit more right now, just a little bit.
They need him to
help him out.
Press that button.
Yep. Hold down R2 on that one.
Interesting stat for Gareth Southgate. You haters out there.
Yeah.
Gareth Southgate has now won more knockout games in major tournament than every other England manager. So is he a disappointment, or at least he's doing something?
Give him 5 more years.
No.
Give him 10 more years. I'm kidding.
Get him out of the White House.
Yes. I mean, it shows to me that shows the disparity between what England expects and what England delivers. If this guy is breaking these records for you and you're performing the way that you are right now, like, that's the England squad.
But
don't have these illusions of grandeur of what you're supposed to be.
Yeah, doesn't that also show us that England is thinking about them in terms of football international as a powerhouse when they're really not? It's just more of the name, because they have the best league they have the best national league among all countries. Doesn't translate to international, right? Because if this is the best guy since England, or since, because they won the World Cup in 1960s, I think it's the 60s. But if this is the best manager to ever do things at the higher level, break all these records for you, so why is the incentive to always yap?
Yeah, because they're too busy looking at the quality of their individual players and not how they perform as a unit.
Yeah,
and that's it. Because on paper, they have one of the 2 best national squads in the world in terms of player value, and that is them and France. But and neither one's playing particularly well as a unit right now. But France is much more the unit than England.
That's true. Another thing, if you are a Belgian fan and they just got knocked out, not really knocked out, but they're out, you can still expect Kevin De Bruyne to show up probably for the World Cup. But I'm not sure for another Euro. He said it's too early to answer, but let me process the loss first.
Yeah. So, I don't know why he played almost like a CDM for that entire game. That was ridiculous.
Well, you know
that whole first half, he was just wasted.
KDB never actually delivered for the national team. If people been no, because even the last World Cup was a fiasco. The last Euro, since he's been playing, that's why when I talk about the best midfielders, in a sense, KDB don't come close to whatever list I have, because those players have delivered nationally.
Yeah, I get that.
And club-wise. So, it's like, hey, I'll beat you there. I'll beat you there. I don't have a single avenue.
Whereas if you're looking at best club midfielders ever, he should be somewhere in the list.
He's definitely somewhere.
Yeah.
But man, for midfielder, there's just so much.
I agree. I agree with you on that
much.
One. Yeah.
He might make top 20, definitely in my tops.
What, top 15? Could you squeeze him in top 15?
I feel like I can.
I feel like I feel like once you actually put the list together, you could get him in the top 15.
Yeah, definitely, because there's the Spaniards midfielders, and there's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of those motherfuckers.
And there's the Italians.
Yeah.
Who then actually he can make top 15 all around.
I think so too.
Yeah. That's right. But the game I'm most excited, it's Germany, Spain.
Yeah, for sure.
I want to see Portugal too.
France does not
I want to see how
either.
different France will approach the game, because I don't think Portugal will approach the game differently than they have been doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want to see.
Those will be on the same day as well.
That's bull crap.
But at least they're at different times.
Yeah.
So
okay.
For me, at least, it's easy because I do like Comcast DVR kind of stuff. So as long as I watch them in the order that they were played in, I don't get any spoilers, and I could watch them back to back.
There have been more than 10 own goals in this Euro.
Yeah.
What does that tell you? That's what I came back to say again. I think the defensive play at this Euro has been on a high level from any team, more than ever. Either it is it, or is just the fact that most national teams are sitting at the back.
Yeah, I don't think
there's no trying. There's no provoking the ops.
Right. And I said this earlier as well. I don't think that it's necessarily that, like they're not playing the best defense, but they're more defensive. And I think that it's because those, and by smaller, if you're in the round of 16, there's no small club. Sorry. Yeah. There's no small nation. These are all big sides. But you see that Portugal, that France, that England, they're not playing as well offensively. So instead of saying, if you were playing the 2018 France and you're, Slovakia, or Slovenia, you're going, we're going to go full on because we've got to score goals because they're going to score on us. Yeah. There's no point in sitting back because they will still pick us apart. You have more of an incentive when these guys are not playing that well. If you're those lower level sides going, well, if we just play smart, we actually do have a chance in this.
Yes.
If you're Slovakia playing England, if you're playing a high functioning England side, you've got to go absolutely nuts because they're going to score on you. But these guys, they had all the reason in the world to say, you know what, we sit back, we play it right, we get a good counter, we come back on our side and just shut everything down. They're not scoring regularly anyway. So if we're more defensively minded, whether we are talented in that or not, we inherently have a better chance than what we would normally have.
Yeah,
I think that everyone's sort of seeing that.
Yeah, I agree. I can get behind that. Because and their own goals also prove that if you have 10, I think by the time they're done with the Euros, this will be the competition with the most own goals in a single competition. Because you can see if there's own goals means people are shooting and is hitting.
It's ricocheting off.
Ricocheting off. Yeah. So
it's not all just idiot mistakes, but it's putting pressure on a defensive side that's maybe not used to completely shutting down and parking the bus like that. It's gonna take a deflection. That's just the way it's gonna be.
Well, guess what?
What?
Xavi Simons might be at Bayern.
Yeah.
But what does that say? Well, because Bayern, they're making moves. Will we see a more dangerous Bayern next season?
You hope so, especially as a Bayern fan, because you hope so. They were not at their best by far.
No,
they have a lot of room to grow. But I mean, young, energetic, pacey. They really need guys with pace.
If you put Xavi Simons and Musiala, if Musiala stay there, I think that's if they play well together, that's a good midfield competition.
Who is Xavi Simons coming in to replace? Because everyone coming in more often than not is coming in to replace or relieve somebody.
Yeah, it depends on, I would say, his contract. Because if his contract is more than 60, 70, I don't care who is the best there. He's putting someone on the bench. Because no club will pay you 70, 80 to come and sit your butt down and do trainings.
Because he's not, but he's not like a pure number 8, is he? He's kind of like an attacking midfielder-ish. Because he's not a winger either, though. He is a midfielder.
No, he's a midfielder. He's a pure CM. He's a plus center, so he's not a holding, and he's not a pure attacking. So he's more of a pure.
Then it sounds like they're replacing Kimmich because Kimmich has a lot of transfer news and rumors, and just Goretzka's not playing that well either. You got to think that he's either on his way out or someone's coming in to kind of make him a rotation player as well.
And it makes sense because if Musiala is the pure attacking midfielder. Or sometimes 8, 10, whatever.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. You gotta have that guy in the midfield. And I'm thinking if they play very well, this will be really great.
Yeah.
So we might see a good Bayern. Hopefully.
We
can
hope. All right.
Thuram very close to Juventus. 20 million plus add-on link to the team performance and appearance expected to be done this week. So he might go to Juventus. Is that a good thing?
What's the incentive to go to Juventus right now? That's a genuine question.
I don't know.
I don't know. I would stay at Inter. Then go to Juventus. You don't have to make a transfer.
No, you don't have to. But I'm thinking, right, if you are in the Italian league, what team is the most likely to get back to the top? Because you think about Juventus, the reason why they're not at the top personally is because of all the allegations. Because they had point deducted last year and it affected. But when we start rolling out to stability wise, I don't think they can keep it up. Because Juventus have more money, more talent.
More talent?
In a sense, because they will attract more talent.
I guess
it's the old lady. They have more. They have more national
appeal.
EPL, national PL than everyone.
Yeah,
they're the most likely to be in the Champions League. In fact, they're the most successful Italian teams if you take from the 2010 till now. So
I guess.
Would you want to stay at Inter? Because Inter
and win another league.
Or Inter might pull out a Roma.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Or if the Inter has the same squad, I think their coach is going somewhere, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
I think their coach is going somewhere.
All right. I mean, he's got a better idea of the inside and the inner workings of Inter Milan than we do. But I mean, for the last truly 6 or 7 years, Inter have been the dominating Italian side. In terms of leagues won,
Leagues-wise,
Champions League, they bagged one. They performed better in the Champions League. Juventus have just sort of been...
The last time that Juventus performed well in Champions League was when? I think 2018.
How far did they get? I don't.
They probably qualifying because that's Ronaldo went to United in 2017 because 2018 Ronaldo was at United. Yeah. But when was the last time that Inter won the championship? They just won it. But before this, when did they win?
No, yeah, and I mean, you can look at two clubs over 10 or 12 years, but I mean, Thuram's going to be looking at the short window because he doesn't have like an eternity left in his career. I don't know.
You're more concerned about the now. Do you want to stay at Inter and do great things now that they're on top and you're more viewed?
That's what I like. That's what I think that I would do. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on with Juventus that's just kind of unknown.
Yeah.
And they don't have the best squad that they've had, in the past. And I do think that this Inter squad is really good. Barea is really good. Bastoni is really good. Lautaro Martinez. If you're feeding him the ball, I mean, to me at least, that seems like I would want to go there if I'm staying in Italy. If I'm not staying in Italy, I'm not saying that Inter is the best place to even be. I'm just saying if I'm saying, my family likes Italy, we're kind of settled here, we're good.
Yeah.
Then I personally think that I would stay in Milan. That's just me.
Okay. I can see that working. I can get back behind that. David Raya. I did not know he was on loan, but apparently, was that Arsenal is trying to get him permanently.
Yeah, he was on loan.
They might spend 25 G's on him.
That's not bad.
25 million.
Yeah. For a good keeper, he's a good keeper. Especially
that's not bad. I mean,
especially if you're letting Ramsdale go as well. That sale will pretty much be covered.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I would do it.
Yeah,
because he played last season most of the time.
Yes.
So there's no point.
I think Ramsdale started 2 games in the Premier League, something like that.
And if I'm down going,
yeah,
because you'll be wasting your youth, your talent, your time. You're not getting back in there. I know Arteta is trying to convince him to stay because they can, alternate. But because especially when you get to that level, you don't want to drop. You want to make the most out of it.
Yeah, and rotating keepers is not is easier said than done.
Yeah,
because your back line have to have constant, fluid, steady communication.
The one thing I don't like to rotate goalkeepers.
Nope.
If I was
that's what I'm saying.
No, because it plays a lot. There's the psychology of the team, or the back line, like you said.
Yeah.
There's the communication aspect. There's the knowing factor. You just know this go like imagine you at Bayern rotating Neuer and the back line, especially when Neuer came those early days with when they had Dante and they had the other guy, I keep forgetting, Kevin Prince Boateng or Boateng, and they already expect if they go up, Neuer might come out, and they never see this Neuer coming out.
Oh, yeah.
They have to track back. So
yes.
It's just too confusing.
Absolutely, 100%.
No, don't do it.
Yeah, you don't get to do that.
All right. Well, we're coming to the end of this show, and if you've been watching, at least go subscribe. And if you haven't been watching, at least go listen to our Spotify.
Hit that fucking button.
Yes. We are on all platforms at the moment.
Every one of them.
And
standing on all of them.
We're about to make our Facebook too. But TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
I don't have the TikTok.
Spotify.
But we do.
Yeah. Go over there. Before
my
that's
God.
playing. Go subscribe.
I'm so angry.
All right, guys.
Goodbye.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.